Wait for it. Wait for it. Welcome, welcome. How are you today? Great of you to be here. I hope that you liked the new setup, the new countdown timer that Paul Dixon made. Really appreciate that from happening. And a special welcome, of course, to people that are live during the show. The show is every Saturday at 8 p.m. Central European Time. And Game Freaks is also here in the house, which is really awesome that you are here. Not only that, but also Elizabeth Floyd. Hey, it's Elizabeth Floyd's daughter. Where? How's that possible? So, welcome. I think you're Elizabeth, and I presume, or just please tell me if that is, because I know, of course, your dad, but I don't know how things are there. Welcome, especially again to people that are live. Okay, so. Have you ever thought about a multi-camera production, and do you think that it takes quite a long time to prepare yourself, making sure that all those cables are situated, bringing on a computer, a full computer with cables, wires, and a lot of shizzle. But the thing is that actually you can actually make it faster and easier, because it's also possible to go home live from the studio, and then you only have to bring in a tripod, a backpack, and a camera, and that's it. And today we're going to talk about exactly that, because that's what I did. And again, welcome to the show. Welcome to Taekwondo. Every Saturday at 8 p.m. Central European Time. This is live on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Twitch. And that also means that you can actually react during the show, which is great. I do see that there are some issues with my cable, because something is going on with one of the streams. We'll see how far we can get it today. It seems that it's a little bit too much today for my. It's getting there. It's getting there. All right, so I'm back. Just to let you know, when I started the show, everything was blinking all over the place, because the streams could not take it anymore. But welcome again to the show. I see Floyd and his daughter are online. For instance, here you have Floyd. I love the countdown Kermit popping up. Is great. Yeah, we do have a new start of the show, waiting time, and that kind of stuff. That's totally new. That's all Paul Dixon, who's our great artist. And I also see Elizabeth here as well, and Game Freak, who is actually here in the Netherlands, here near where I live. Also, welcome to you. All right, so let's talk about what I did last week. So first and foremost, let's show the end result, a bit of it, because it's children. So I have to admit, the thing with children in the Netherlands, and I think that's worldwide, is that you have to be careful with them. So I'll show you just barely enough to show you what the end result was looking like, but unfortunately I cannot show the whole thing, because of the fact, it's really something that I want to be sure that they see enough. For that reason, I'm going to go like so, and let's play this thing. There's no sound in this, but this is just to show you. So this is camera 1. This is what we call an ISO camera. This is camera 2. That's and this is camera 3. So we had actually 3 cameras at a musical, and that was really a fantastic way of doing things. It was live, so it was not perfect. We have to admit that, but I think that looking at the technology that was involved, that is mind-boggling, because that was really, let's say, about a mile from here, and I was actually sitting here at my desk, just doing my thing. Really cool. I could actually, if I would love to, I could actually just get in my pajamas and just sit here doing my thing in my own room without any issues. That was great. The only thing that we needed to do, and this is something. So let's go back. Typically, if we would do a multi-camera production, typically this, in our case, is 3, 4, or 5 cameras. We go out to the location. We have 1 or 2 computers with us, 1 laptop and for playout, one laptop or sorry, desktop for streaming, recording, and switching the cameras. In our case, it's vMix. Now, then you have to roll out a lot of cables, like 50, 60 meters, I don't know, 30 feet or something, every place. So that way, that way, that way. It's like a tremendous amount of work. And typically that also takes about 3 hours to complete because, like always, Murphy's Law, things will go wrong. And they will go wrong. It's always the same thing. So we decided to think about a way to avoid that from happening. So last week, for the first time, we actually brought with us, so we had 3 cameras with us. We had 3 backpacks. You know, the LiveView backpack that I have, that I use, and of course the LiveView itself. That is roughly what we needed. That's all. Of course, we wanted to have power to the camera and to the LiveView, but basically that's it. We didn't have to roll out all those cables. We were ready within, and I'm not kidding, 3 cameras, we were ready within 30 minutes. And so we had plenty of time to test, plenty of time to relax, get a drink, talk to the people, have fun, and afterwards, even that's even the best part. Unpacking is even faster normally, right? So it was 15-20 minutes, and what we did then, we went to have a drink with the technology people from that venue and have some fun and talk about, you know, some good days and that kind of stuff. It was really cool. Dave is also in the house. Welcome, Dave. Great of you to be here. Looks and sounds good. Thank you so much, sir. And not if, but when. I don't know what that is about, but that's fine. And my dad is also in the house. He says, "Hi, y'all. What's going on?" All right. So that was the thing. So really, looking at the time it takes, it's faster. The only thing is that I'm not really 100% accurate, is because of course you need to test, and that is what this show is all about. We're gonna talk. I'm gonna walk you through whatever I needed to do. I'll do it based on one of these, but at that time we had 3 of these. So just think what I'm doing times 3. Then you're basically ready for it. All right. So the first thing that you need to do is that you need to understand that there's a difference between the LiveView Solo, which is a fantastic product. I'm a partner, so yeah. Granted, I'm not getting paid for it, but I'm really a fan of that product. But for this, I'm sorry to say, just put it out here right now, it cannot handle it. It's only 1 camera, and it's not able to sync with multiple cameras. So unfortunately, even though this box looks quite a lot like the Solo, it is actually exactly the Solo, hardware-wise, is actually a different product. It has a different software product, so it's more oriented to the broadcast world. So that is something that is important to understand. In the meantime, I have to bring up the comments again because that went wrong. But this is roughly the Solo hardware-wise, but it has different software. And in order to make it to make the 3 systems combined to be in sync, so both on video and on audio in sync, so that you can switch between the cameras, you have to have a server, a centralized server, and I happen to have one right here. That's the one that is really in the condo, the one up top left, that one right there. That is the full server right here, and that is what it can do is that it can, on paper, only can have one signal, but in real life it can actually have three signals, and that, hence I have three cameras, and it will combine the signals and provide it towards the switching software. Below that, that is a audio interface, and it's currently not 100% on, but with this you can actually talk to the cameraman. So that's also a fantastic thing, is so that on the live view, which I have right here, there is a headset. Now that headset is sorry, the headset headset plug. That headset plug is also on the Solo. The only thing is, on the Solo it's not working. On this system it is working. So you are able to talk to the cameraman that is a mile away and give him instructions. Oh, go to the left. Oh, go to the right. Can you zoom into this, please? Oh, I already have this shot. Can you give me another one? That kind of things I can talk to a cameraman about. Granted, it's with a delay, so you have to take that into account. It will take roughly back and forth 2 seconds. So that is the time that it takes. I just did it, right? So, and you're done. So that is the delay that we're talking about. It's not a lot, but it's there. So that also means that if you say go left, you have to take into account, and that's also what we've seen, what we've learned during the show last week, was that we were so used to have an instant reaction to what we said that it didn't go as well as we typically would have. Which is okay. It was the first time. It was for people that were for children on elementary school, a musical. We did a tremendous job. It was a little bit less than we normally would have, but we took that into account. We also said upfront to them, I said, we are going to try something new. We'll give you a discount, which is quite a high discount, and that's the way that we could take that into account. So that is it. So I talked about the server. I talked about 3 of these boxes right here, and that you can also talk to the cameraman. But before I go further, I see a lot of people joining, so I want to say welcome to people. I see Rob is also in the house. He says interesting stuff again. Thank you, Rob. Really appreciate it. And Jordan, all the way from Canada, he says hi, Petra. Rob asks, how is it connected to the server? Okay, good question, Rob. So how is it connected? It is connected via 4G network. So these are 4G modems. You can add up to 4 modems on this model, and there's another model which has, for instance, the possibility to have 6 modems, or should I say 6 SIM cards. So for instance, this has one KPN, which is like the AT&T of the Netherlands, and one T-Mobile card, and those combined give it strength and more, let's say, will give the signal enough boost to be quality-wise okay, but also if, for instance, the KPN or AT&T part dies, the T-Mobile can still take over and make sure that everything will go well. So that's a good question, Rob. How will it synchronize to the server? Do you know? Yes, I know exactly how that works, and we're going to talk about it. I'll actually show you how to get that information yourself in just a minute. But it's based on persistent time that the live view provides to you, and I'm going to show you how you can set up the delay on the systems in just a minute. Hey Fiona, what is going on? How are you? All the way from the UK. What's going on? And the server goes via LAN. That is correct, Rob. So it actually can also handle SDI. So I have only one SDI output because I'm just a small company, so to speak, so it's not like I can purchase a bigger system because that's a price difference. The more SDI connectors that you have on that server, the more you have to pay for it. It's a licensing thing or something. But in our case, I've chosen to use NDI, which is SDI, but not over the SDI cable, like this one right here, but over the Ethernet. Yes, that's it. So, all right. So, great questions. So, let's delve into it. Let's show you how it is all connected. So, I will be logging on my system. And there you go. So, different than with the LiveView Solo, the Solo has a different portal. That's also a little bit of an indication that they're different in the way that it all works. But this is the, let's say, broadcast quality product that they have, and it's used by CNN, it's used by NBC, it's used by BBC, it's Sky, NOS. It's used by quite a lot of different big companies. So let's just sign in to that product, and here you'll see immediately a little bit of a different thing. I have here a three units connected, and also the server. And if I show you the server, you'll see that the server is currently green, which is that it's active. So it's ready to receive the information from the units. So a LiveView system like this one is called a unit, and it has a number which is kind of like the serial number, but not 100%. So let's go ahead and switch this thing on, because now everything is gray, and that is not helpful. So what I'll do now is that I will move this camera from this position to another position in a second. So let's give it that now. So call 8. There you go. All right. So here you have it. This is the LiveView 200, LU200E, which is basically the same machine as the LiveView Solo. However, hardware-wise, but it's different software-wise. So let's switch it on, like so. It says loading, and unfortunately, this process takes quite some time. It will take about 2 minutes for it to start up and be ready for everything. So let me go like so, and I'll go back to this. So this is the LU200, like it says right there. So it's a little bit of a different beast. And again, it's starting up. It's connecting the modems at this moment. That takes some time. It just has established connection at this moment, so it knows that it has a connection. However, it does not handshake with the server at this moment. That takes still some time. I'm just going back and forth that you see that it does take about 2 minutes to start up. So again, it still has that splash screen, and it's still waiting. So, but that means that we have some time to explain a little bit more about the process, right? So what I've done is that I have actually provided you a there it is, a QR code, which you'll see right there. All you have to do is grab your phone, go to your camera app, and scan that and click it open, and there you'll find the information that I'm just going to talk about in a second, so that you know exactly what to expect. In the meantime, I will be, of course, copying the URL as well for myself, so that I can show you a little bit more about that. But this is the URL that we're going to. So that this is the one that's still on top, yeah, on the left hand side. Your guide to wireless at-home video live production for any budget. Well, you do have to have budget. Don't get so it's not like it's very cheap. That's to be very honest. But it is doable, as you have seen, and this is the way that this is the technology that's like central. That's the LiveView wireless precision timing, and that's all based on your delay. So if you set the delay, it actually knows how to use it, and it's being used worldwide. For instance, this is Don van der Kooi from the Ocean Cleanup. He's a senior producer, and he went all the way to San Francisco and showed how this team that is cleaning up the ocean is actually performing that and giving it some video time. This is the setup that is like minimalistic. So you have here two live view units that are connected to a camera, and it also has this headset here, headphone, and that headphone is actually able to talk back to the producer that is sitting right here in the studio and has a switcher. So this one has two cameras. One of them is sitting standard. There's no operator, and the other is zooming in to, for instance, I mean, a good use case of this one would be like, for instance, a keynote where you have a global view of the whole crowd and the whole podium or stage, and a close-up shot of the presenter, and that cameraman is just following that presenter all the time. So that is a good way of doing it. And my setup is actually between the two. So this one is the easiest one, and this one is actually, I would say, the top-notch product. And this is roughly what I have, with the exception of, let's say, one live view unit, which I cannot do in my setup, and I don't need it in my setup as well. And you have to be very honest about it. You need to do whatever your budget can do and try to top it. Of course, you also always need to do a little bit more than you expect, but you cannot do more than 3 in my whole setup. So basically what I do is that I also rent a live view unit, and I rent like 2 cameras, and together with that I get the full product. So I still need to rent, just to be very clear on the topic. So that is provided if you go upstairs, there, and click on it. All right, so that's a little bit of a backstory, and in the meantime it should be already up and running, and of course that is the case. So here you see it just turned green, and that means that it's good to go. Well, not 100% good to go, because it's not good to go because the camera, as it says right here, let me make it a little bit bigger for you, it is not connected. So let's do that. Let's connect the camera to it. So here you have the system. It also gives you a red indicator, and it also, you see the delay, 1.4 seconds. I actually, during the show, we set it on 1.2 seconds, and that worked perfectly. We didn't have any outage, but looking at the best practices, I decided to give it a little bit more leadway to 1.4. But what we need to do is put in a SDI cable. So that's right here. This is the SDI cable, which we can connect. We can connect it on this side right here. And now I need to have 2 hands to get it organized. Oh. Yep. It's a bit of a professional product, so it takes some time to. All right, now I have, of course, not enough cable. There you go. So now I've connected the live view unit, and I'll just switch on the camera that I have, and if everything is fine, you will see the warning going away, and you'll see a, let's say, a picture right here. So you have a little bit of a confidence monitor. It's not much, but let me get rid of this one. There, no, we'll talk about that later. So that's it. So here you have a little bit of a confidence monitor, so I can actually see what I have on my camera. So if I move the camera like so, you'll actually also see it move on that picture. Okay, now let's go back to the screen, and we have set it to 1.4 seconds right here, but you can go all the way down to 1 second. However, that is not something that they recommend based on 4G networks. So 1.4 is actually the lowest that is recommended, and it can go all the way up to about 20 seconds of delay. And you will also see that happening on this picture. You can see the unit is under remote control, which is the case, and you can also see now that it's set to 20 seconds delay. And if I change it to, let's say, 1.4 seconds again, then you will see that changing in like 2 seconds, boom, 1.4 seconds. All right, well, let's switch it on, shall we? So in order to do that, I have to go to this again, and then press start. And now the cool part that comes is that I can actually show it to you. Now I have to, let me see if this, I've prepared that a little bit, because you will be able to hear. Okay, I switched on the audio. So you have to switch off the audio here because of the delay. You will get absolutely nuts about it. But on my controller, I can actually now already go there. Boom, here you go. So here you have the camera. You can actually see what I have here. So this is the control software. This is a confidence part right there from the portal, and that is the vMix, and it shows you exactly what is going on. So that is working. And the only thing that you have to do is that you have to combine the three, have exactly 100% the same delay, and that's it. Really, that's it. That's as easy as it can get. So we did this in under 20 minutes. We did. I actually talked about it, but and if I want to talk to the cameraman, I only need to put in here the headset, and I have connection with him or her, which is totally awesome. Right. So that is that. I'm gonna stop the stream. I'll do that literally like so, stopping it, so you can see that it's stopping, and it's gone. And that is about it. That is everything that you need to do. No, the only thing is that this is what I just showed you. It's ×3. That's the only thing what is different. Floyd says this could be useful in those mobile house of worship. Definitely. So one of the things that I forgot to mention is that a lot of locations, of course, these days have internet. However, you have two possible problems. The first possible problem, and I actually have the same problem right now, is that sometimes your bandwidth goes up and down, right? So, and especially if you don't have fiber, that happens. And in this case, that's exactly what happens also on my end. I'm going to switch it off, by the way. Just a quick check. Okay, so now the live view is off. So the bandwidth might fluctuate a bit. Also, that's actually the reason why I bought the Solo at the very first time, was because I had a very bad internet experience for quite some time. I was really, sorry to say, fed up with it, and I wanted to have something which I could rely on. So that's exactly that was the first plan of the Solo, but it went bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger afterwards. But now I'm on the coax, and I just saw a few times that my internet connectivity is not on par today, unfortunately. So that's the first thing. The second thing is networking. Are the ports open? That's always a big problem. I mean, even though they say, yes, of course that port is open, if the technical persons are not there at that time, basically you cannot do your job. So you want to avoid being reliant on those technical people. That's also one of the reasons why I wanted to have the LiveView Solo or the LiveView systems, so I don't have to think about that. I can just get them there. In honesty, I do know here at this moment where in this region I have good internet and I don't have good internet. So I know that now. And there are also great resources to obtain that. OpenSignal.com or OpenSignal.org or OpenSignal.com. One of the two. I don't know exactly which one it exactly is, but that is definitely one that you can see because that's based on crowdsourcing, and you can see where you have not so good internet and where you have good internet. So that is the second thing. And the third thing is that you want to avoid having to spend 3 hours to build up and break down. Of course, if you have enough people, then that's not a big deal. But I work together with like 2 or 3 people, and that is the team. So we're only with at the max 3 or 4 people. So that's not a lot. I mean, I know, for instance, that Rob, he has a team of, I believe, about 8 or so. So that's a little bit of a bigger team already, and then you have more possibilities. But still, it's quite a challenge. All right. So looking back, conclusion, it takes away a lot of issues that can happen. It's faster. You can go live like within 30 minutes. If there's something happening here in Venray and I need to be there and like news something, I can be there within half an hour and have a multi-camera production ready to go live on Facebook, live on YouTube, and I can record it and even send it to the local stations here and just say, hey, just put it on the TV. That is all possible. That is a great thing. Well, that's also the conclusion of this episode of Tech Condo. I hope that you liked it. Certainly did like it. I like to talk about these possibilities. What I will do in the coming 2 months or so, I will start the process of dividing my knowledge, if it comes to live view, into smaller videos, like 3-4 minute videos that I will post on YouTube, so that it's easier to find ways of working with this product or these products. I'll actually have a LiveView 300 coming up here. I'm gonna get it in next month, I think in August somewhere. I'm not gonna tell you when because I don't know for sure, but we'll definitely also review that unit. Because that's this one on steroids, really, and that's that. And of course, you can also expect from me to go live in real life, especially now that I have the new improved look and feel. I will definitely use it. If you want to support the show, then go ahead, go to techcondo.net. You can support the show with $5, $10, $15, $25 a month, or maybe a one-timer. That's fine. But the most important thing is that you actively contribute by commenting during the show or after the show. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next one.